Okay, hello Heather.
And good afternoon, Karen. Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. So here we are at the Green
Door Centre.
Green Door Centre in Bosham in West Sussex. It's an absolutely beautiful place, a healing sanctuary, I think, where lots goes on, yoga and meditation, and they've got a forest school going on with the kids running around, which is really beautiful. And Heather has very kindly joined me today on Wise Women Weekdays to talk about all sorts of stuff, but mainly energy work, and how important it is as we're moving into this new kind of paradigm of living. I guess a lot of people are really waking up to the fact that we are not just physical beings, we carry something more, don't we? Do you want to say anything?
Yeah, definitely. I think a greater awareness of who we might be or who we are. There's like a remembrance going on, and to know that we're not just flesh and blood, there's just so much more to every single person, and that we're all connected together anyway, ultimately. So there's definitely a rising of energy that's causing all sorts of explosions of interest in different kinds of healing, which is really important, I think, at this time on our planet. Is the amount of healing that needs to take place.
And like you said, there's so many different modalities now. It's become common, mainstream to talk about yoga, for instance. Maybe 10, 15 years ago it wasn't such a, everybody knows what yoga is, or Reiki, working with crystals, and there's just so many different modalities. And I know you are trained in Reiki. Do you teach it as well?
Yes, yeah, I teach Reiki.
And also the one that we're mainly here talking about today is light language. The light language. So can you just tell us a little bit about light language, what it is?
Yeah, so light language is it is the language of our soul, and it's the wisdom that our soul would like to share with us through our higher self. So our higher self is that part of us that is always there. It's always been there and will always be there. And in our case, she knows everything and really knows what we need. And the beauty of light language is, whether it's a healing or an activation, is that the words that will come out, because I speak it, there are different methods of communicating. You can also communicate through drawing, painting, and hieroglyphic drawing. Some people do very complicated
hieroglyphics, really?
Yeah.
And that's another means of communicating through light language.
Because everything is a little code of light. So there's different elements to suit everybody on the planet. So however your soul would best either express it or absorb it. I speak it. Occasionally I sing. Sometimes, like if there's a big storm and I'll go down to the beach because I want to send out some positive energy, then sometimes I shout as well. But I do whatever it is that I feel that I need to do. I don't think, I'll go and shout at the sea. I will stand there and I'll wait until my higher self goes, there you go.
Job done.
Job done, yeah.
So with regards to communicating, is it, and I'm thinking of a pop group here, Soul to Soul, which I used to love. Do you remember Soul to Soul back in the 80s and 90s? Oh, I used to love those. But so when you are communicating in your light language, is it your soul talking to my soul?
Yeah, so my higher self. So our soul is something different, because our soul is a different part of us that goes through different experiences, that carries the trauma that we've had through different lifetimes, whatever they are. So the higher self is always the true source. As I understand it, the higher self is the true source for that connection with the divine. So the soul may have issues that it is also experiencing, but the higher self has no issues. It is pure communication with the divine. And you would never understand what I'm saying. I don't understand what I'm saying either, but you will feel it in your heart, or you'll feel it in your body. And sometimes people can have a very profound experience when I speak light language. But it's supposed to be fun as well. It's not really serious. Although the impact of it has a profound effect on the whole of your body, because it's energy. So it's going to affect in all of the energy field of the body.
So we're not using the brain here. We're not
at all.
thinking about it. It's literally heart to heart, soul to soul. And there you're describing the soul. What about the spirit? Can you give us an idea what your interpretation is of the spirit? Is that different to the soul?
When I think of spirit, I think of like guides.
Right, okay.
That's what spirit is to me. It's either people who can, entities, energy, that can come to support each of us. That's how I think of spirit.
Yes, yes.
The soul is my soul, your soul.
Yes.
Spirit
is more outside, I think, isn't it? Your soul is within you, and it's individual to that person.
Exactly.
Whereas the spirit is something outside.
Yeah.
Cool.
So the spirit is definitely more about who is coming to support me, and it could be members of our different star families that we've been connected with before, and a lot of it will be based on your own belief system as well.
Yeah. So now you've talked about star families, so I've got to ask. Because I'm only thinking what people are going to ask. What's a star family? What is she talking about? Because to a lot of people, they'll think we're bonkers having this conversation, which is fine. Maybe it's just take it with a pinch of salt, or look into it a little bit further. How would you describe a star family? If you're hearing children, by the way, that's just, I love it. It's just the forest school going on. You might hear children because we're out in nature, aren't we? With butterflies and bees. It's absolutely stunning.
It's
really gorgeous place.
Yeah.
But here they go, going past.
So a star family, so a lot of people have heard of the Pleiades, or they've heard of Sirius. There's so many different beings, so many potential possibilities of who is there, who has been here on our planet, because we know they've been on our planet before. And so where do we go back through the weaves of time to connect into those families? And it could be you belong to several families. One might be stronger. For me, the Pleiades have always been very, very strong. That was actually at one of your events when Dr. Sam gave his talk, Osnama Good, and
from the Bosnian pyramids.
From the Bosnian pyramids, and that was when I realised I had this huge connection, completely unexpectedly. I literally walked into the room, and there it was, and I said, "Oh my God, that's just..."
It struck a chord.
Absolutely.
Which quite often things like that, because let's talk about that. The event, you brought it up again. So when we came to this beautiful place, just outside Chichester, and I said, "Oh, we've got to run an event here." We've got to do an event. So for those of you that know me, I set up the Freedom Network back in 2020, and we ran a lot of conferences all around the country, and then I put an end to it because so many other people really were doing events, and they're still going on festivals and conferences and seminars. And so I didn't feel the need, but just coming here, you go into that gut, that thing. Oh, we got to do one. So we're gonna organise something here for the end of June next year. So I watch this space, and it will be not restricted, but it won't be massive. We're just going to limit it to 100 people or something like that. So that's just a decision that we made impulsively today because it has to be done.
Yes.
So
that's exciting.
It is exciting
because that's moving forward to help people with how they can start to move with their energy and heal.
Yes.
It's the deep healing that needs to occur, because when people can heal the old wounds, they'll get their own power back.
Get their own. Now I love that. Get their own power, because we've lost it, haven't we?
Yes.
We've given it away.
Yes.
And going back to like the word leader and guru and people that are ruling us. I mean, the guru is within. We have to follow our inner guru rather than giving away our power by listening to what other people tell us. Obviously read it, learn it, watch it, and discern what is relevant to you. And I think that's what this event will be about next year. It will be an energy thing. If you're supposed to be here, you will. If you want to come, you'll come. So we'll just put it out there and see what happens. So going back to the light language, which I don't know enough about, it's something that you can vocalize, and you're going to give us a demonstration. We just did this a minute ago, but we've had to re-record because there was an incident with a car parking. Anyway, we've dealt with that, so we're redoing this. And Heather very kindly did a demo, and I thought it was lovely, but I couldn't quite hear it. So that is partly with the vibration, is it? You go into a softer means of talking.
Yeah, so when I make that link with my higher self, then my voice will usually drop a few octaves. So I will try and speak up a bit so that can be heard. Yeah.
Okay, so
And so the important thing is when I speak it, if possible, you can put your hand on your heart, and you are attempting to listen with your heart. You're not listening with your ears because you're not going to understand anything that I say, but you potentially will feel something in your heart, a warmth or an emotion. It's hard to say. Everybody is different, but somewhere you will feel it, and it just will make you. It just makes you
who knows?
comfortable. Feel
Who knows?
comfortable.
And I think that's a really valid point as well, because we've all been taught that our brain is like where it all happens, but
Yeah.
we're becoming more aware that it's the heart
Yeah.
is where the soul is, and this is where we need to go back to
Yeah.
make a difference for
Yeah.
ourselves and for humanity and for
Yeah.
future generations. So you come out of the brain, the thinking, and you come into the heart, no distractions. So you're going to give us a little demonstration.
little
Yeah. Do you need to
demonstration.
tune into this, or does it just
No,
come?
I just have to ask. I ask because I trust in the process now.
Yes.
I can just ask. So
Okay.
Ayanasta hoshi I aya kara ustu oyara ma asti hina adaha shi ayano kara astia anama de hina haya sira ma shihi karada si ayara no kara oya ad istama sha ayana de istoya hiwayana istaha shayano kara idama isha hayano kichihi wayara nastohora ama ane id ishihi kiri yara o.
Yara oh, kishi yara oh. Wow. I don't know what. I felt it. I felt tears. I feel tears in my eyes with whatever you're saying. So thank you for that message. I can see you're welling up now, and the children are going past as well. The young lives.
Yeah.
Thank you, Heather. What did you say?
Precious.
Were you asking me where
You're
directions?
loved. You're
I
loved.
laughed.
You're loved.
Bless, I felt it. Oh my God, I felt that.
The message always. So what will happen, because our higher selves are up there going chat, 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 and they've got a moment to pass healing. It's all healing. So it's not a.
So they're connecting. They're our higher selves. They're sitting on the garden bench like we
sitting
are,
on our garden bench, just sitting in our field,
supping a cup of tea.
Supping a cup of tea, and they're going, yeah, we've got a chance to get in here and to bring some healing. So it's very profound healing, which will go. That's why you cannot understand it, because if you understood the words, if I said, yo, Karen, what a nice day, you could think, well, what does she mean it's a nice day? It's raining or whatever. The brain cannot interfere with the process.
Yes, because I'm going to think. Yeah,
exactly.
Is it a nice day? Of course. So right,
Yeah.
it's just received on an energetic level.
Yes.
And the message you gave to me is, when you do this light language, is it always given to an individual? Is it going to be given to a group? Do you need anybody there? Is it something?
Both.
Can you talk to yourself?
Yeah, I can talk to myself, and I do talk to myself.
But in light language.
Yeah, I do talk to myself in light language.
Right.
And when the light language will come to me is often like I could just be walking through the woods and the sun, because the sun is always pouring all her light codes onto us all the time. That can sometimes just instigate a little connection with nature. Or if I'm thinking about something that requires attention, I can just have some light language. Yeah, it just because I allow it to be part of my daily life, I don't even think about it. If I want to speak it, I just speak it. Or sometimes on a healing, I will sing it. So I wouldn't have said that singing was a forte of mine, but I just have to go with it because that's how it's come through. But the language can be, so that message was for you. That was definitely for you. However, I can do that. So when I do so a workshop, for example, with several people, then I can do general light language, which will be on a level for everybody as a general healing, and then it will be individual for the people. But also, I speak it to my little granddaughter. She's only 2 and she makes her laugh.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, she laughs.
Well, they're so innocent, aren't they? The youngsters,
Yeah.
It hasn't been knocked out of them. They
Yeah.
haven't sort of been institutionalized, so they can receive this and see things. They see colours and until they go to school.
And the animals, I was practicing on the dog yesterday. I thought, I'm just going to have a little practice and see what you think of this. And
Yeah.
he seemed to really quite like it. So it is a little bit of a mystery, a little bit of magic. I like a bit of magic.
Oh, who doesn't?
And
Yeah.
it's just an opportunity to expand yourself, because to me, it's so important that we accelerate the healing of individuals now.
Yes.
We're going through so much at the moment that rather than spending years of going to counselling and long-term therapy, that we can find ways that people can properly heal that inner child. All them little inner childs inside of us that experience trauma are still sitting there.
Yeah.
So it's how do we help with all that inner healing, really, and all that.
And you know, that's an
work.
interesting point, Heather, because I think I'm not dissing counselling at all.
No,
you
no,
know.
not at all. Counselling's great.
It is very great, but there's
Yes.
very much in the head, isn't it? When you
Yes.
sit there, and I've gone to counselling, and you know, you sit there and you come out of your, well, whatever comes out of your mouth, what happened, and he did and she did and I felt. But it's very much mind-based again. You're in your brain, aren't you? And then the counsellor will just sit there and nod and say, oh, time's up. You know, where's the money? And you go back next week. So for me, counselling didn't actually do a great deal, that kind of counselling. Energy counselling I've done before when I lost my father, and that was a day after my daughter was born. So my hormones were up and down. I was all a little bit, and I was very close to my dad. And I was really angry. I was so angry. So I didn't go to a counsellor, but I went to a voice therapist, and and she said, put a pillow on the chair, that's your dad, imagine your dad sitting there, and what would you say to him? And I just shouted at him and said how selfish you were to die. You know, I'm so angry, you've left me, you've not met your granddaughter, and all this stuff came out, but it wasn't from the brain, it was just emotion, it poured out of me. And then I think I hugged the pillow and got on with my life. It was a massive relief, but it wasn't so much in the brain. So do you think this is a similar sort of therapy as such? Is it allowing people to express all their inner child's hidden bits and bobs that are suppressed, and you know we can't always access through thinking?
So because it's live, and I only work when I'm doing activations. That's live, and so that can be tailored with whatever comes up. So there's that just becomes tailored, and that's the beauty of doing it live. In a healing session, it would really depend why the person has come to me and what they wanted to resolve, and how they wanted to work. But the inner child to me is, because I trained, it must be about more than 20 years ago, I trained with Brandon Bays as a journey therapist, and I had to do 36 case studies to get my qualification.
What, of journey therapying?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I really did get a lot of insight into experiences and challenges that trauma
of people's journey.
Exactly. So I think now is the time where you can have this inner journey, and when you're open to doing that inner journey work, you're going to heal it because you're open to it.
You've got to do your process. You meet the shadow, and I think that's where we're stuck at the moment. A lot of us are stuck because we haven't done the shadow work. We all carry a shadow. There's always a dark side. We've just been challenged with the car incident. The lady just came up and said, you know, we've parked into her car and we've looked and there's no much damage, and she's trying to keep calm and we're trying to keep calm, and it was calm, but you can just sense these are little challenges that will stir something up, and a lot of people will go mad, and we didn't. We were very civilized, weren't we, because we didn't really go into the car. But I think it is so important to have this healing work before we do move on to ascend, as people saying, you know, we're changing, we're coming into a new paradigm, a new epoch, a new way of living, but you have to do the inner work, and this is very helpful. So on that basis, when people come to you, are they just sitting there and receiving, or are they communicating? Are you activating them into how their higher self will speak?
So if someone comes for a healing session, it's a bit like having a Reiki session. You would lie in the bed, and then I place my hands over your body, clothed body, and we play some music and we have some candles and just have a nice gentle space, and then I just allow the light language to flow where it wants to flow when I'm moving around your body. So it's extremely peaceful. It's like very, very peaceful, and that language can help to release the most important thing that needs to be released.
Okay,
at
so
that
you're
time.
combining the language, the light language, with the Reiki
Yes.
here. Okay, so
So
it's not a
that-
separate thing. This is the way
No,
you
That's
practice.
the way that I work with
Yeah.
it now. And then for the light language activation, that's different. That's a 3-part can be online session, which I think is great. I've done it online because I can reach out to a lot more people now, all over the country, all over the world. And then that's tailored to you. So we run through the program week by week, and then there's lots of activations. So it's about an 1.5-hour session is filled with activations, and then that will be completely tailored to what you need. And by the time we get to week 3, it's become so powerful, and then your body is just like sitting, it's waiting. It's
waiting to come out with this gobbledygook, which I say in a nice way, you know, but
it's waiting for that. It's waiting for that connection, and so and this is where the come back to that word power, which is quite a strong word to use, I know, but it is to help people regain their own power. So when you do that 3-part course, there'll be a little bit of practice work to do in between, and that is where then the individual needs can be met, so that the next time when we meet up, then we can talk through that and see what can be done to help with that and to move that on. Just got to keep on moving.
Keep on moving and grooving. Can you have a conversation in light language? So if I was activated, and I mean, from what you just said to me before in light language, you couldn't repeat that verbatim, no? So something just comes out, it's like, it's sort of channeled through your soul, it's like a channeling?
Through my higher self.
Through your higher self.
Yeah.
So if you did that again, something else would come out,
Yes.
maybe with the same meaning, because it's all about love, but could I be able to speak to you, and could we have a conversation like, what should we have for dinner tonight, and where are we going to? No, we couldn't. So.
No. We can't do ordinary life conversations, but I have very occasionally had it happen. I've had a little conversation in light language with somebody else, but it needs to be what you're connecting with, and then neither of us are going to know what has been said, neither of us. But what I would highly recommend, there's a lot of stuff out there about light language, and I know some people have said to me they're not sure what they should listen to or what they should watch, and so what I just recommend is listen or watch what resonates with your heart, and if it doesn't resonate, switch it off.
Okay.
Because the light language has to be coming through the higher self of that person who's speaking it. It has to.
So that leads me to ask you, can it be hijacked by the baddies? There's a few naughty people out there in the world, aren't there, at the moment? It can't.
No.
So this is a real positive, loving
Absolutely.
Practice.
Yeah, it's your own individual practice. You can use anywhere, anytime, and also on the course I do teach how to put in proper protection. So some years ago, when I first practiced Reiki, I always used to think, no, I don't need to bother with protection because I'm protected by the Reiki, and I am protected, and anybody practicing Reiki is protected to a certain level. However, now I think the energies are quite malicious, and I think it requires a different type of protection, and I do that every single day. I don't go out of my house now without doing that, so I do go through that and explain more about that as well, because we are literally, every time that we move from our heart, we're sending a ripple of energy into their matrix. And that's happening all the time.
Yeah.
We may not see what we're doing, but when certain things are going on in the sky, and I can send my light, I can send my heart up to that. I have no idea ultimately, but I know it's doing something good.
Yeah.
So as long as it's from the heart and it's good,
not having to think about it again, isn't it? It's the intention. It's the intention.
Exactly, and you can't go wrong.
No.
You really can't go wrong. If you're doing that from your heart,
then
that's the right thing to do. And I think this is where a lot of people are learning to work back with their heart again. And what does that actually mean? Because sometimes that can be a bit confusing. You work with your heart. What does that mean?
Yeah.
It's really about coming into your heart and learning to feel again, really feel what is true. Because you said earlier, I think, about intuition and maybe psychic abilities.
But it's trusting your gut, isn't it? Like we were saying when we came here, whether you have a download or you have an idea or a thought, but it's trusting your inner guru to say, okay, this is going to work. We're going to have an event here next June, and I've chosen in my mind the 30th of June. That's one of my lucky days. I don't even know if it's a Saturday or Sunday, but we've already put we're planning it. And I think trusting your gut is so important, but it's been wiped out of us, isn't it? Because of the way the world is at the moment. We've passed our responsibility to somebody else. If you're feeling ill, you think, oh, I'm going to go to the doctor. You don't think automatically to try and look after yourself. You know, even with a dentist, you don't think, I'll go and put some, I don't know, cloves in your mouth. Do you know? So we just, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't pass responsibility, but we should look after ourselves first and foremost, and maybe try not get into a mess. But if you're going to break a leg, obviously you've got to go to doctors. I mean, I've used doctors. I'm not saying don't use doctors, don't use dentists, but we need them. But with discernment. I think that's the thing. Bless her, my mother, God bless her soul, she loved the doctor, and she would blame the doctor when the latest pill didn't resolve the other issues. You could pick her up and shake her for all the medication that she had. And if ever I felt a bit poorly, or my kids, oh, have you been to the doctor? Have you been to the doctor? Have you been to the doctor? And I think that's partly why I try and avoid them. I thought, well, there must be other remedies. And I think energy is massive. And also for me, when my kids were young, 3 kids, when I put them to bed, I would always just visualize them in an egg of light. I would just, put them in a bubble of light. In night, kids, bubble light, to protect them from whatever else. There's an energy. And even walking the streets, if there was people that I felt a little bit uncomfortable, I'd put myself in this like bubble of light, this light field that I thought I felt protected. I think, this is all coming to the fore now, isn't it? It's becoming more
Absolutely. And
mainstream.
It's so important, because everybody will have experienced either perhaps meeting somebody in the street, or getting a phone call from somebody, or in a shop, and you just get that feeling in your gut, and you don't even really perhaps know what that is, but you get a feeling in your gut, so your body's telling you something in that energy field is not right.
But you know, you know not to go there, not to walk there, or not to go to that.
And it doesn't mean that person or the place is bad, or it doesn't mean anything detrimental. Simply means that your energy field is not compatible with that person's energy field. So it's not apportioning blame or anything else. It's just, we're just not compatible energetically.
Doesn't resonate. So for the courses that you run, and they're online or they are in person, if people can come down to the south of England. So if you're living in America, that's not really practical, is it? So you're doing them online. How I know you said beforehand in brief, but what would be the first step? What would you do with them the first time they came to you?
So I always have a chat on the phone. We always arrange a phone call first, because then we can get to know each other. I think that's really important. I can get a little bit of sense of that person's energy, and you can get a sense of my energy, and then you can decide whether you would like to work with me. And then I explain a little bit about the light language. We obviously do a little activation, and then we can figure out the dates in the diary to suit. So that's the good thing about doing it online and live, because it fits in with your schedule, work or family, whatever you're doing.
And what is an activation exactly? What do you do?
So the activation is me speaking. So it could be, the course is all very lots of meditation, guided meditation. So you don't just get left to sit by yourself. And so then the meditations are what have come through my higher self. So a lot of energy and a lot of time has gone into getting the meditations correct. And then within those meditations will be activations. So what I mean by the activation is when I'm specifically speaking light language to you to complement what we're doing in that meditation. So for example, if we're working on a self-healing meditation, it will be to complement that and to activate your DNA to help you to remember how to communicate in light language.
Right.
So it's always working towards your healing, and how can you communicate? Do you want to get a piece of paper? Do you want to speak? Do you feel it in your throat? So it's very much to help you to remember.
And again, I love the fact, because it's taking this out, isn't it? It's taking that out, and it's working at a different level. And I think that's, for a lot of people, we have to understand that. You're not thinking about it, because I'm sure if people are watching this, then they might think, oh, that's a load of tosh, that's nonsense. which is fine, each to their own. But because we're not using the brain, see if it resonates at a different level.
Yeah, and your heart. So the secret is the heart, because the heart has its own little mini brain. It's got 40,000 neurons, and the heart is always communicating with the mind. So there's more communication going from the heart to the mind than the other way, and so that just makes you feel good, and then you're working from a kinder energetic place then, aren't you?
Yeah. Wow. Heather, anything else you'd like to say? We're coming up to the half an hour, which is great.
Yeah, I am on Instagram. You can find me at Heathers_healing_room. So you can find me there, or you can email me. I don't know, would you like to put that in the...
say it now and I'll add it as well.
It's white clouds, like white clouds in the sky.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Not lines, round fluffy ones.
Yeah, round fluffy ones. Or rabbits. At ntlworld.com.
NTL World.
Yeah.
White clouds at ntlworld.com, but I'll put it in the description. And
contact me. There's no obligation. Just send me an email, contact me, and we can have a chat, and we can explore how I can help you on that journey, really.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. It's really nice to catch up with you.
And
if you've got any comments or questions for Heather, please do put them in the comments, because we will get back to them. I always read them, and if they, if you want an answer, I'll let Heather know, but she can also read them herself. If you like this video, one of those. If you don't, one of those.
Give us a share.
Share and all that stuff, so we can get this information out there. And thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you.